Hello, my name's Simon O'Leary, and I'm going to just give you a 10-minute flavour of my presentation. There are 20 slides and there is a paper, and I'm just going to focus on 6 of them. And I'm going to be looking at marketing projects with SMEs, and particularly how that helps to develop entrepreneurial and employability attributes for our students and graduates. Basically 4 parts. There's the why we're doing it, there's the research behind it, there's the projects we're talking about, and also what are the key issues raised. Just a bit of context, Regent's University London is about 4,000 students, and half of it is business and management, and the other half is humanities and social sciences, languages and culture. So first of all, why do we think this issue is important? And this chart here that you have summarises some research I've done that's published in the Journal of Education and Work that you can see referenced on the slide, looking at employability in undergraduate degrees. And what it shows is that 9 in 10 want employability support, either on a well-managed or optional basis, and that does vary by disciplinary area, which is worth looking into, and also that 1 in 10, they just want to focus on the subject. So it's a question of finding the right balance between all of those wishes of the students and graduates. So one of the things we've done at Regents is to address this is to look at introducing something alongside dissertations, the final capstone activity of our students, and probably the same in your own areas. And we've introduced some consultancy projects, and we started this about 5 years ago, and now we're introducing it to more and more programs, and pretty much the majority of programs will have this now as an alternative to dissertations. The format is probably typical to your own institution, in that the dissertation is the usual approximately 15,000 word format, individual student with a supervisor and in a research sort of format. And the consultancy project that we've introduced is a slightly shorter project, about 10,000 words, but it also importantly includes a reflective section where they're looking back at how it was working with the client, etc. And also a presentation of about 30 minutes, 20 minutes with Q&A. And this can be done by an individual, but also by a student team, usually around 2, and of course that then introduces a client into the mix. So there's a supervisor, client, 1 student or 2. And the report is also in a research format, but also orientated toward the client as well. And what we're looking at here is how we've used clients in the SME sector, and also introduced the students to a variety of marketing projects, because we think of marketing in the broadest sense. So it could be anything from business development to branding to launching a new product, to analysing the competition, all of those sort of areas. And so what's actually happened, and I'd just like to show you on this slide here, is that this was we started with a master's program that we're doing called Luxury Brand Management, where we've so far had 319 students, and it's interesting to see that 57% have chosen the consultancy project route and 43% the dissertation. It varies year to year and cohort to cohort. As you can see here, it could be 50, it could be 60, 65%. It depends each group, but it's been very well received by the students, and you can see here some of the quotes from their reflective reports. And here you can see that they're talking a lot about their future career, how it's helped them develop their skills, and also importantly, and it's mentioned a few times, confidence, just general confidence of understanding employer needs, understanding how to work with a client, how to work with others, And so it's an element of individual and teamwork that comes into it. So at the end of all this, if you were thinking of this type of thing, my experience at Regents is that, okay, there's a 57-43, but I think if you can say 50-50 will choose dissertation, because this dissertation is still a very valid topic, because a student may have a particular interest in a particular area and wants to work with a certain type of supervisor. So they're still there. So if you assume 50-50 in terms of who chooses which option, and then what we're also finding is that the students are also quite resourceful. They're also well able to find many of their own students, and again you could say 50-50 that you have to help find and 50% they will find themselves, and then you need to check them out, of course. And if we also assume that the average work in a team of 2, then if you think of your own size of student cohorts, then we're talking about 1 client needed per 8 students. So just to give you an idea. So what are the key challenges? And this is the final slide, and the key issues to consider, and these are perhaps areas you could debate in the session. First of all, it's important to embed the initiative into the curriculum, isn't that it's not a standalone activity. Also think about mixing academics and professionals in terms of delivery of this type of activity. Also, it gives you an opportunity for cross-faculty liaisons, because you can work with other faculties on certain areas of certain projects. Of course, finding the projects is a key element in this whole thing, but we all use a lot of external speakers. Also, a lot of your and our academics will have industry experience, so may well have contacts. Also, consider about the working in small teams or working as individuals. And then in terms of the outputs, instead of just a report, think about a presentation, think about reflective reports as well, because they add a lot of value to the whole experience. So hopefully that will give you a flavour of what's involved in my full set of slides when you see them, and also in the paper. And if there's any issues there, it'd be good to have a debate. The chair's is well aware of the content of this topic, and it'd be interesting to hear what you come up with, because working with other institutions could also be a good initiative to take this forward. Thank you very much.